Hello out there everybody, hope you're ready for some more coding. I've been looking forward to adding this to the game. We had a good session last night, got quite a lot added. Started a little bit later than I wanted to, I've only just got home. I'm having some problems with my phone as well at the same time, won't connect to the internet. Makes things a little bit harder, but not to worry. Right. Not sure what that crazy music is, but it's pretty cool. Downloaded a few off YouTube. Okay, let's get started. I haven't even opened VS Code, look. Forgot about that. It might be helpful. This morning, before I went to work, I started the process of making different waves with actual names instead of just numbers. And I wanted to start from not 0 so that I can move the waves down, particularly the bottom one. However, in doing so, I've made it look a little bit worse. It doesn't look as good. To me, it shouldn't make any difference. I just started it from 12 instead of 0. And as far as I can tell, I did do the same thing, but I've now started cocking around with it. At first I went up to 24, and then I went all the way down to 0. Started messing around with it now, adding. It actually goes lower than it does higher if you look. It looks a bit shocking either way. Doesn't look as good as it was before. But the good thing about that, obviously we can change that, but the only good thing about it is that one there, you see, we could only use that on the top or the middle. And so I've got to come up with some way of checking. And it's obviously a lot of data extra to reverse that, you know, to make it go up instead of down. You'd have to have a whole another one. It's a bit of a pain. I'm just trying to do something on my phone really quick. Already having none of it. Thank you again to the new follow, Lingo Lord. Thanks very much for the follow. I've got a new subscriber or two on YouTube as well, so thank you for those. Not quite sure where the focus should lie today. I feel like changing these waves is something that should be done offline when I'm not streaming. Really boring just changing these numbers and seeing the wave change. I'm having real problems with this phone. Okay. Right. Anyway, hope everyone is well who's watching. Making these patterns really doesn't appeal to me. Okay, let's make 2 patterns, including both these 2 we've got. Let's just refine them, change their name. So you'll notice I changed this one to wave. What would you call that one? Like maybe zigzag, or let's call it zig. And then I guess try to remember how I've even coded this. Can't remember it. Oh, it'll be in level 1. Yeah, so I've changed these as well. I need to change the 2 zig and the 3 to zag or something. But the tricky bit that I'm trying to explain is going to be annoying is if it's a bottom and it's a 2, it breaks the game. We need to give it the reverse of 2, like its inverted version. I mean, to be quite honest, there's nothing fancy about it really. You just have to know that. Like a wave is fine to put on the bottom because that doesn't go up and down very high. But the zig, that goes down like half the screen. We'll have to have a 3 there, and that will have to be called zag. And 3 is only used if you were going to use 2 on a bottom. That might actually be quite cool, having a middle with a zag and a zig. Bottom 3. See, none of these bottoms can have a 2 next to it. They can have a wave though. Of course we can change this whenever we want anyway. Let's do that. Alright, so that's now the level design, as it were. I'll change all them 2s to it. I'm trying to get into the habit of making my comments actually up to date. So that's all the 2s. That'll do for now. Really, I'm not overly excited about how good this game's going to end up. I don't think I'll continue it into some special R-type clone or anything. It's more to demonstrate how we would go about doing that, or how we might be able to do that. Sure, there are better ways. Next time we'll rewrite the entire game using this and probably think of a few better ways. But that means this is slightly wrong, because this is why I've written this up here. Look at waves in the top slot. Forget. Oh yeah. So we set the offset to be equal to the slot. That won't be 0 for long. H was already contained in the level timer. Oh, so yeah, of course. This is just setting the offset. So that's this bit. We want to look at all the ones that are going to be top. I don't think I changed any of them, so they're actually okay. But the pattern, still need this. This is now a bit wrong. So we're setting it to wave, and then we're returning out. 5, 6, 7, 13, 16. I'll do 5, 6, 7 first. So it is really easy to add them, you just got to be careful. Five, 6, 7, 13, 16. 16, 17. Then one more on it. 19. So now we'll do the zigs. 3, 4. Ah, it's just 3. I knew I shouldn't have called it zig and zag. 3. Oh. 3, 9, 10. 12, 15. And then I could just set it to flight pattern zag, and then return, because there's only 3 possibilities. So I might try that actually. And really, if you really wanted to optimize it, I guess you'd find the most likely option first, and that would be the one you'd put here. Like zag is probably the least likely, so I should have done that with all the compares, but should be fine. I don't seem to have any chat, so I'm not ignoring anyone, but I do apologise if I have, if I've missed chat. I just haven't got any chat on my screen. But if don't feel you have to chat. If you just want to watch, that's fine. I'm just letting you know I can't see it if you are chatting. Kind of tempted to put all the compares in there. Alrighty. I think we basically just added another, we changed the flight pattern and we changed the structure of the level. We've also added a flight pattern, which I want to just be the reverse of this. Which sounds easy, but it's going to be a bit of a head buggerer. Especially with it, I'll have to splitting it. It's so handy. I'd like to be able to see it while I'm changing it. So as you can see, 0 is where it starts, and 60 pixels down is where it ends up. I really want the complete opposite of that. So I guess it's going to be 60. Well, when I say the complete opposite, I want all the zeros to be 60s. And then, yeah, just go down. I've started filling out these with zeros like this. And the reason for that is when I use multiple line edit like that, it was a right pain. So I've changed my mind. I mean, you know, I've started to do it like that. And I've just managed to make a mistake here, you know, forget where I was. It goes up to 50 only. Okay. Then it goes back down. We want to go up all the way to where we started. And then down. Should have 0. And we do. Now remember, you won't even see it there, and you'll only see a little bit of the sprite there. But doesn't matter. Still need it. Pretty much. The zags in. Offset. Not really sure if I changed any of them. Doesn't look like I did. 2, 4, 9, 10. 2, 4, 9. Perfect. In that case, I want to change the slot. If we look in my wave, I've now changed that, like I pointed out at the start of the sesh. So it deviates up and down from where it starts. That's why you might have noticed I got rid of the wormhole, because it was a little bit annoying to make it spawn in the same place as the enemy. It wasn't that hard, I could have done it, but it actually made the game easier as well. You could shoot where the wormhole was, and then the enemies virtually didn't even get a chance to spawn. Hello Moz. How you doing, man? Hope you're well. I think this is ready to run. Oh yeah, I was going to change the slots. So like I say, it starts at 12. So at the very least, we need the top slot to be 12 down. Let's try 15. The bottom. Where is it? I'll repeat myself again. It actually goes further one way than the other. I'm probably going to have to change this wave. I don't like it, what I've done to it. It can go a maximum of 12 upwards. It actually goes 20 down. So I'll stick with it for now, and I'll just make sure this has got at least 20 plus 16 for the plus 8 for the height. So the minimum it could be would be that, or the maximum. Hey Vulcan, how are you, my man? Haven't seen you for a while. Less squiffy tonight. Cheers, Moz. You're a legend, man. Thank you very much. I noticed you gifted Vulcan a sub as well. It was really nice of you. Oh wait, are my emotes on as well? I can see an emote next to Vulcan. Nice, Vulcan. Glad to see you back. Hadn't seen you for a while. What does that equal? 84, 64, 164. I'll say 160, and then I want that slap bang in the middle. Take away 8. I think take away 8. What would be 152? Take away 15. Let's say 72 for that. That might look good. In fact, 70, because of course we start at the top of each spike. So this should look a little bit more presentable now, except for that wave is a bit funky compared to yesterday. It was looking superb, but yeah, I've tried to do something and it didn't quite work. Okay, I didn't expect them to come out so low either. Alright, got me. I just wanted to see the waves, to be honest. Whoa! One of them's definitely wrong. The bottom one. I want to see more of these bottom ones. Ah, it still went down. I should have made sure all of them were zags, the bottoms. Sure, I just did that. Oh no, don't say we got that problem again. Oh, for a start, that needs to be push and popped. Does it though? Probably not. Hello, micro. I think I might have just messed up because if you remember from 1 or 2 sessions ago, it was in the between. Here's all the wave start points, and some of them have gaps, like here. And we were getting a default one popping up, and I fear that's just what's happened here. Although it's still Zig was the one that messed us up. 3, 9, 10, 11, 10, 12. 9. For simplicity, I'm going to change both of them to zags. Was it 9 and 10? I just forgot it straight away. 9 and 10. We don't want them in here. And that should actually do it for us. Because it will just default to that. I always have to move the screen, can't hardly see it. Oh, this is looking sweet so far. Ah, there's the mess up one. I mean, it looks pretty cool, but it's completely not meant to happen. Were they Irish, yeah? But yeah, I do remember the Zig and Zag show. with Johnny Vaughan as the host of the. No, it's this wave here that's messing up. It's so weird going on with that. Is it just Zag? 60. That's what it is. I've put it too low. I've started the offset. It's funny because when I was a kid, I remember loving Rolf Harris. I thought he was awesome. I used to love his art show. And Pick and Nick. That emu thing, I remember him. Yeah. Does anyone ever remember the program called The Word? And in The Word, they had emu, and he is interviewing Snoop Dogg. I can still remember it, like it was yesterday. And Snoop Dogg was getting proper annoyed with it. Didn't understand that it was a joke. Yeah, yeah. The thing is, I think the whole of the BBC was like that, wasn't it? It's like it seems like they've just picked and chosen a few people to do and let others get away with it. I think if I just change this to a number which is 60, that's the problem. I need to change this 60. What a bugger. It's almost like I just want to temporarily add some to the offset only when I'm doing this. But I really do want to keep the game fairly simple. I want to make sure I do finish it. I mean, I might just change all 60s to be 50s. Sod it. I'll put 49. That way I can change all the 50s. 45. So they're not matching waves at all now. At least that gives us a little bit of extra room. Still trying to find a dev environment setup. I've found, and I've been told by a lot of pros, that mine's not great, but it does work quickly and it's nice and easy. You basically download Visual Studio Code. You then go to this and you download especially this Z80 macro. That just highlights them the same colour as what I've got. Gives you a few other nice options. You then download Pasmo. You put that on any folder you want and then you add it to something called the environment path. You click your Windows button and write in environment variable. Then you click path and you add the path where you put that, where you installed it. Because it won't have an installer. Have you got Pasmo? I mean, people will be screaming at me to use SJSM Plus when I'm saying this, but you'd be able to follow on with me exactly then if you had Pasmo. If you can't be bothered to add this to the environment variable, just copy pasmo.exe to the folder where you make the game and leave it in there instead. And then you have to make sure you're in the right folder, and it will work exactly the same. Oh yeah, I'm sure SJ will work. Like the includes don't, do they? You have to put the double quote, I think. Someone told me. But you might not have tap bass to do a SJASM, and I don't think the command line instruction is the same. When I use SJASM, I'm going to create a build JSON file that builds it for me. Zeus is something slightly different, isn't it? Yeah, I had a look at it. It's got a lot of special words in it, macros or something. Yeah, I'm fiddling around here. I wonder if I can. I'm just going to test something here that I've just wondered if it worked and never tested it. I'm going to try using minus numbers. I think I used it once successfully. I'm going to change all the 49s to be 31s. That'll be the max. I had the same problem with Zeus, to be honest, mate. I used Zeus, but if I tried to use my own code, like my existing code in it, it didn't work. Ah, there you go. Moz will be able to help you with it, perhaps. Oh, you just replace the quotes. I get you. I mean, this wave is one of the most cocked up waves I've ever seen now. I'm going to just do it manually. This is stupid what I'm doing here. Try minus 10. Oh my god, what have I clicked here? There we go. Okay, again I've got to move it. There we go. Right, so I'm obviously mainly worried about these bottom ones. Looking good, looking good. Perhaps I should have raised it. In fact, it needs to be raised. Yeah. I still think it's going to not work, actually. But I do need to raise this again. Oh, just holding the key down when it booted. Oops. Oh, God. There we go. Okay, so that's the wave at the bottom. We knew that was okay. Ah, no. Yeah, no, I'd forgotten he'd even done the negatives. Paste tab was. Oh wait, Moz, did I just read that correctly? So like, can you use Lua to reference the table or just to create it? Like, can I loop through the table using Lua to access one part of it? Hmm. Have you got a 3D printer? Create it, okay. See, I'm quite happy with Pasmo because I can create my own tables. I'm never going to make a game that has like a big database of data. Perhaps if I was making a football manager game or something. Can't even get a 2D printer to work. I'm a bit worried why it's not even working though. I'm going to try and just copy that in so that so I've got to allow 68. Unfortunately, I've got to start the bottom ones from there now. But let's see if it still breaks because I might have broken the code somewhere else and not noticed. Going backwards, isn't it? What's it doing? I've clearly missed one piece of the jigsaw out. Yeah, so that's all it does in here is it sets the right pointer for the offset and for the pattern. Ah, yeah, that will be why, because I haven't pushed and popped. I basically destroyed whatever's in HL when I reached this point. So I've just deleted all my hard work, which was again valid. Burn some. Micro, I always read your messages out of context. It's always you. I always read something. I'm like, what do you mean? There's something like Dwarf. I want to see that, but I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I'd love to get a 3D printer, but I got told that they're not worth buying because my mate said it's crap. But he's the only person I know who's got one. It's still going backwards. I thought I would have fixed that. Hmm. I mean, I could do all the compares, but I don't see the point. really bad that way. No, it's totally my fault, trust me. So you learn SketchUp. I've used SketchUp years ago for making 3D models actually. Like before 3D printers were out, but no, I didn't know anyone who owned one at that point. But I used it to make like, game assets, but using like an entire city and stuff. It turned out to be the wrong way to go about it because Maya is loads better for that. I think that's what SketchUp was anyway. Yeah, see, that'd be amazing. I could make something in Maya and print it. That's a cool idea, Moz. Oh my god. What made you stop doing that? Is it just because drones market took over and like blew you out of the water or something? 'Cause that sounds like you could make some good money doing that. Do you know my friend who owns it? He used to have a model helicopter business. That's what he did with it, I think. The ornaments. That's mega. 3D printing has to be next, Moko. You're right there. In fact, I'm surprised like the Kodak shop and all that doesn't already do it. That would be cool, Vulcan. Except for you're spelling it like the copyright friendly version of Horace. That's not the original. Horace Morris. I'm running out of ideas here already with what's wrong. Must be in here. Because now, this is the same as the one that we had before. Huh. Can it build anything strong? Like, like say you're wanting to build a D-pad to replace in your broken controller. Would it be adequate? Or would it just snap? I mean, if you build it with the right little like structure, it should be quite strong, shouldn't it? That's brilliant. I saw someone online fixing joysticks using like old-fashioned joysticks using a 3D printer. Like you'd open them up, find the little tiny piece that you could no longer buy was broken. I thought that was quite a cool idea. I mean, obviously, not that many people are paying to get joysticks fixed out. You could buy a load broken, couldn't you, and fix them? Oh right, there's all different materials you can print with. I suppose printers, going on about the copyright thing you brought up, they could actually probably put some software in it that knows if you print like Super Mario or whatever. because we used to have an amazing printer at work, 2D printer, and it knew if you tried to put a tenner in it, it would say specimen across the copy that came out. And I know, yes, because I did try. Star Trek Travel Mac and Cheese. Yeah, wouldn't that be funny if Nintendo strike a deal with the printer companies? Like, if it's Mario's face, it comes out with like something wrong with it. That's brilliant. That my friend with has bought a Sony Xperia phone a few years back, and it came with like a 3D scanner. Actually works with textures and everything. Looks pretty lifelike. Yeah, 3D scanner inside a phone. And he done it to my mate. He scanned my mate who's a bald guy who wears sunglasses, and it had his skin tone, everything was done. It was amazing. And that was about 2 or 3 years ago. At the time, I was there struggling in Maya trying to make a human being looking person for a game. Monocle. 2 monocles. We need to make 2 monocles bad guy sprite when I was a lad. Wait, let me tell you this story about fake IDs. Oh my god. Back when I was 15 years old, we knew someone who her dad was a policeman and had this stamp and all that, right? So we cut Kellogg's packets up into the shape of IDs, stuck 2 bits of Kellogg's together with a prick stick, stuck our passport photo on with like something like student identity written on it or something, stamped it with a police stamp, and then the bouncers used to not let us in like 9 times out of 10. It's so funny. We actually sold them. It got in the local paper and everything about a spate of fake IDs going around with police stamp. So I stopped at that point. You just reminded me of it as well. I forgot all about that. I am slightly worried as I'm expecting that to work. That third style of wave. Third. It's not even the third style of wave, is it? Hmm. If I get rid of that, we should have definitely have no problems now. The thing is, I'll have to put all the zags in. I'll have to put them all in here. That 3D scanner thing, Vulcan, does help you with it. You can scan all sorts. But 3D is not that hard once you get used to it. To make it in Maya, I mean. It's all about loop cuts and extruding certain surfaces. Micro is going to resolve some issues. Dungeons and Dragons, yeah. I haven't played it, but it's quite a cool little. I do kind of find it funny. You can just, I can just picture you now being that guy trying to play D&D with some serious guys, and you're trying to have fun with it. Tell you what, a shop's just opened up near me that does that. Quite, quite a big shop, and it looks well busy. I drive for a delivery, and I work all night, and I see them open at like 11:30 at night when I stop. So they're probably open till midnight or later. Where did you go to school, Vulcan? What country? I went to a posh grammar school, and I can tell you that at least a third of my class used to meet up at lunch and play some sort of role play game that had a massive great board. But I was never that kid. I was the loner on my Commodore Amiga. 5 cans of special brew. What a mad git. Did he think he was a Viking? Trying to go home. Bristol. Okay, cool. You're near me actually. I went to school in Torquay. Hmm. I was quite lucky with the Amiga. I got it in the late 80s. I'm in sort of caveman debug mode here, by the way, if you haven't noticed. It's annoying because just before I went online, it was all working fine, and I've managed to break it somehow. I don't really have a clue how I've broken it. That's what GitHub's for. So what I've just tried to do there is just make sure that they're either wave or zig, all of them. And now I don't want to see any of that backwards moving malarkey. Okay, good. I could hide down there. I think it is fixed now. So the problem is either in the third wave or in that bit where I said we didn't need to do the compares. I'll just continue watching, make sure. Yeah, I'm happy with it now. Okay, in that case, with that there, I think this might work. Because I didn't remember when I said that we didn't need to do these for the last one. What I think I failed to remember was it turns out and that's part of it when there is no wave, and I was messing that up. I hope. So it'll still. Oh wait. Zag doesn't exist anymore, does it? And it's going backwards again. Look. It is looking snazzy, but we need a few more flight patterns. For some reason, I've forgotten something on these flight patterns. Oh god. Yeah. It didn't like me adding this extra flight pattern. I'd just done the same thing that I'd done with the other patterns. That's not it. Down here. Ah! I need to load AH as well. That could actually solve it. With that said, I fear that it's not actually needed. Let's hope. Wish I could find a sweet spot to sit in. That's not it. I think up here might be actually. Doing it again. I'm going to make the second wave the third thing, zag. So that I can see it quicker. Oh, thank you, Vulcan. Very much appreciated. 256, what a dude. Thank you, mate. Very much appreciate that. Do I need to do anything else? Wave 2, bottom. I'll just change that to zag so it matches up what I did. I'm pretty much expecting it to do that bottom thing on the second wave now. Like the bottom backwards movement rubbish. Okay, it worked. That's still a wave. That was just a wave. Something I've got the wrong end of the stick with one of these things. That sets it to the bottom and that works. Wave 2. Zag. Let's change zag to just be dead straight. I'm not sure why. How did it become a wave with wave 2 there? Yeah, I did need them extra zeros. I was just thinking that. I deleted it after I did it and then copied the old one. I'm baffled as to why the second wave. Here we go. It is doing that now. Collision still works curiously. As it steps through, let's look at the enemy. This is what it would be. Probably something to do with this. I haven't looked at this for a long time. I had draw enemy, didn't I? Ah, thank you, my dude. 192. We got a whole screen width of bits. I could put a bit in every pixel. You legend. Or I can draw half a board. Yeah, at the moment it's all a solid colour. It's got ink yellow and then black for paper. That Spikie Goes Skiing's got some good colour clash. When you go past the cars. Yeah, this should be enemy update, but let's just leave it as draw. This has to be where the problem is, I'm sure of it. Nah, it can't be actually. Damn. Right pound way. I actually don't think we do need them, so I may as well comment them out. Why would it hate that wave so much? That type is just when it does the zag. Magenta not equal to pink. I have less colour spectrum than a ZX spectrum. There's just a few colours in my world. I mean, bright magenta is just bright pink. What's my favourite colour? Bright black. Well, I've commented them out. I just want to see if the rest of the waves work like they were. That hasn't affected it. So I've got to wait for that working zag. I have no clue what's happening there. Okay, that still works. I'm going to get rid of that. Magenta. What colour's the VIP badge? Is that magenta? Why is it hating? I'm going to put the first one that comes out of the top. I'm going to make that a zag. I've never seen the Rocky Horror. I think I've seen bits of it. I know a girl called Magenta. She's bloody mania. Did you notice that was messing up? Weird. I remember I did media studies, and a friend in there used to always have a go at me for not knowing the Rocky Horror. I bet I know loads of things out of it without even knowing. So it's something to do with Zag. Zig's okay. Zag was the mental one. I've definitely watched Dune several times, and I love it. And I did mean to read it, but I've never actually read a full novel in my life. But I would read. That would be one of the first novels I ever read. I did hear they were writing, or they were making a second Dune, or a remake of Dune, a film. I mean, and I did hear as well that there's several books. Oh, audiobooks! I used to love them when I was driving round, but I ran out of audiobooks. I couldn't think of any others to get. New Dune movie in November. Sick. Yeah, I really enjoyed Dune. It's a bit weird, like some of the acting in it is, but it's a very, very good film. I mean, if I'm honest, it might be my showing that I'm young again, but the main actor in Dune, puts me off it slightly. I don't like him that much. He's okay, but the young guy, I mean, yeah. He's good, like, don't get me wrong, but there's something about his face just annoys me. Twin Peaks. Is that who wrote Dune? Yeah, see, I never know any of the proper facts about stuff. I either just like it or I don't. I'm not like a never find out enough information. Same with music. I know all the music, but I don't know who done it. Face like a well smacked bum. Yeah, he does. He just has this sort of face about him. I just think it could have been a completely different movie. Poor Atreides. It's coming back to me. It's a few years since I watched it. I remember Sting. I'm going to check out the audiobook of Dune for sure, and Alistair Reynolds if I can finally take my fancy. Because I listened to the Red Dwarf. Have you ever heard Red Dwarf read by um, Chris Barry? I thought that was pretty good because he sounds just like all the different characters. Yeah, the guy who plays Rimmer, he's also like an impressionist. So when he reads the story, he can do all of their voices. It's basically, when you're driving along, it's almost like watching the actual episode of the program. He did, he did. I wonder why why it's not liking. What's wrong with Zag? Like, what's the difference? Tongue tied. It's funny, that's the bit you remember out of it all. Where are you around? What I always remembered out of Red Dwarf is where they go into better than life. You know, that was the bit that always caught my fancy, the total immersion video games. And then they also have one where they find out that their whole life was a big game. That's my favourite ever one. They only got a score of like 2% or something. They were in it for years. Despair Squid, yeah, it's the best, man. That's the best TV I've ever seen, I think. Like, I've seen it dozens of times, so it hasn't got the great appeal that it used to have. But the first time I watched it was epic. Yeah, that's exactly what I love about it, man. It's like exactly that. It seems at first like it's going to be all serious, and it's got loads of mega sci-fi in there. But then they just, like you say, can't be bothered, and they just end up running around doing insane stuff. Yeah, Lister, and he's also an eternal being who will never die. Unfortunately, this is going to be one of them sessions where I can't get hardly anything done because for some reason it's not liking this third wave type. No matter what I put in here doesn't seem to matter. Look, it's all zeros now. Should be fine. Exactly that, Vulcan. I was thinking, I don't know why, but I had this thought the other day and I just didn't tell anyone about it. But they should make a red dwarf crossed with Star Trek. So it's like they bump into each other, and you got Picard being all serious, you know, like, and then Lister. I think it would be awesome. Yeah, I can't think of the storyline yet, but I could probably come up with one if I had to. But I can see it in my mind, and it looks great. Or imagine if it was a completely normal Red Dwarf episode, but then like they're stranded, and you're thinking, how the heck are they going to get out of this one? Like you normally do, and there's no way out, and then suddenly Picard, like appears on the screen, saves them. Make it so number one. I was trying to stare at these number blocks and thinking they would just mean something after a while, but they're not. That's another sly reference that I've just seen on Star Trek. How do I do it then, guys? Seems to hate zags. I just wonder if I put the zags up here. And of course the load A. I'll leave that one there. So the second one should be a zag again. It'll be broken still, I'm almost certain. Yep. Seems to appear from like maybe where we are nearly, somewhere near us. On the X I mean. The Y is something else. Probably just a coincidence. In fact, I can test that by moving me. I knew they'd be fine. Yeah, it was exactly the same, I think. It spawned from the left of the screen. So I'll try and be sensible here. Spawn. It just sets it to be alive. Sets its steps to 0. Can't be that. It couldn't be as stupid as that halt that I removed the other day. Is it? Still running pretty fast. Oh, I just went off the screen. I've goofed up here somehow. On a positive note, I've got a whole week off now, so I should be able to make massive progress. It was nothing to do with me being off screen, it was when it spawned. I'm pretty sure it is because this enemies.draw is in the drawer. It should really be in the update stuff. The Expanse. I've heard of that. Let me look it up. Is that a new thing? I like that micro. Yeah, I'll check that out. I think I've just brushed past that thinking it looks like it might be crap and not even giving it a chance. I remember hearing about it. I'm spawning the enemy now. And it still crashed. God, what have I done here? It's a shame it went so well last time. I don't know why that's in there, really. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Hitch DVD. He's Hitch the, wasn't that Adam Sandler or something? Let me have a look. Dubda. Will Smith. Yeah, I will. I wanted to get the other one though, Lost in Space, and I haven't got that yet. That sounds it'll be right up my tree though. I'm gonna change this to enemies update. The only thing is it does draw it as well. But I do cache the position now, so I could easily take that out and draw it separately if I do want to, but I'll just leave it there for now. But here's where we set its position, so somehow that must be getting it wrong on the other wave. It's going to crash anyway in it because I didn't change the update loop. I'm surprised it even compiled. Oh, it didn't. Yeah, that time it compiled, but I don't think we'll even see any enemies. I think it's because I put it somewhere where it didn't want to be. Update. I think we need that before even that. Maybe just I might have to study the code in a minute and follow what it's doing. Surprised we're not getting any enemies. Fun. I think we should be able to see some enemies now. If not, I've done something. Oh, no. There's the crash. Although this time it didn't crash, it just froze the game. I mean, I basically just renamed it and moved it from there to there, I think. So this should be back to where we were a second ago. Weird. I've majorly broke it, Micro. I've broken it so bad that I might even just delete it at the end of this session and then just pull it from GitHub. Excuse me. And seeing as I'm going to do that, I may as well. Make draw enemies separate from the update. I do like them. I do like them, but I have to be able to control them. Okay, the thought did cross my mind. Oh, I don't mind it, but I have to know why it's doing it. But it totally did cross my mind. Wait. IX is already A. Prove this cookie. Awesome, Micro. Mars praying even though you don't believe in it. I do that sometimes when I'm really in trouble. I'm not actually praying. I'm just like, please help me. Just asking anyone. It's a shame because this game was running so fast when I had it all in that one loop. I fear maybe that is why it was messing up halfway through, like at the end there. This will also make it easier when I want to switch up. In fact, doing this, well no, but it will definitely make it very easy when we want to just change the sprite out to something else. We can have different enemies. They'll all be the same size, but a frying pan theist. I like it. That's a good reference, man. I love it. I absolutely love it. There's nothing better than a good reference. Like I love sneaky references. Speaking of which, have you ever seen the cartoon Code Monkeys? Because that is an absolute epic. If you haven't seen that, like I think you'll enjoy it. I'm not sure. Maybe it's my age group only, but so funny. I did read that's making a comeback as well after many years. I think all I have to do is call enemies draw now, and then that's that sorted. But here we don't need draw sprite. Don't need that. Yeah, perfect. I find this crazy how that didn't work there. Because yeah, I see it's called. Well, it's even called. Look, that bit's not called, so it should be fine there. I haven't got to Babylon 5 yet. I'm going through my sci-fi. See, when Babylon 5 was out, I was like I didn't hate sci-fi. I used to love Red Dwarf and a few other things. I hated anything serious. That's funny, was. Like, please, they should spawn. Okay, whoa! What the hell? Look at them! The whole game's breaking and everything. Wait, what are they? Wow. That's what I get for having an extra hour of work than what I usually do. It's something to do with like these two now. Okay, what could it be? Nothing to do with that. That cult. What, Johnny Cash and all that? You like the Babylon 5? Seems like a very long time ago that now. I forgot about it. Canadian invasion. Bipolar chef Cash. This is clearly something to do with me messing IX up, in it. Just hoping that works, but I'm guessing now. Why are they these weird bug things? Oh, and it's broke again. Gotta look at these close up ways. They look crazy. Getting some crazy glitches now, yeah. Ooh. What the hell? Uh, why are these weird vegetable things now? Look, you were talking about vegetables, and then these turned into vegetables. It's just pointing at that. That's mental, that. Everything I'm doing is just wrong today. It's one of them days for me. In farts, I don't know. If I need one, I will. Z80 is worse than a bag full of it. Oh, it's meant to be 16 by 8, isn't it? I don't think that's going to stop our glitch problem though. But at least they won't look like turnips anymore. Weird. It started from the left side of the screen. It's only when you do the zag wave. Had nothing to do with where I put it in the loop, but stink level alert. 12 out of 10. Do they write on it manually then? Afterwards. Brown swirly thing alert. That's good. Yeah, you know Red Dwarf pretty well, man. Because I haven't seen it for like maybe only a few months or something, but I still wouldn't be able to remember. Just come out with that sort of stuff. My my memory isn't like geared that way. As soon as I see it, I remember it. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to have to delete this and go back to this because the other code before I started today was much simpler. Yes, Vulcan. Yeah, Crichton. He's like, are you absolutely? It would require changing the bulb. Have you ever seen the behind the scenes stuff? Because I've actually seen an interview with Captain Picard or Patrick Stewart talking about how he was in England, stumbled across Red Dwarf, and he was going to sue them. He got really annoyed, but then he watched it for like 5 minutes and fell in love with it. Because at first he thought it was just a direct rip-off. Because I think some of the scenes are exactly the same, aren't they? Yeah, I well appreciate Microman. Always there, saying hello. Almost every stream. Right at the beginning. Just find it crazy how this broke it so bad. I mean, I kind of get why I broke it now, but I still don't even understand why it doesn't like to update. Like, why can't I just put it basically anywhere? I wonder if I'm pointing it at the wrong thing. No, it's the right thing. I mean, I added all these, I didn't know what good they're doing. Starving. Feel like talking vegetables. I'm just not so sure why it cares about where I put that. I think now we're back to just zag messing us up. I wonder if I just change that to wave. Still the same. So weird. They're drilling it into your brain, Vulcan. I spend quite a lot of my time coding. If I'm not coding, then I suddenly do go out, I buy loads of stuff in the shop, like drink and crisps and all that. But sometimes when I'm coding, I do smoke a lot, but I just don't seem to get hungry or not really thirsty either. So even if I put wave there, it still messes up. I bet I changed something stupid that I forgot about, because it was quite a mess how it went through. It was like only looking at the high byte. Fair play, Vulcan. Sounds good. Sounds good. No, we don't want to eat them. Hello Chromo, how you doing? This is a different Spikie game. But I've just managed to break it this evening. I'm going to actually roll back to the previous version, I think, when I end this video. But it was looking really good at the start of the video. We had all the waves spawning, some cool movement. I've managed to break it on wave 2 here now, sadly. I'm sure I will figure out a solution. Spiky no basic. Beauty. The morning where you are, is it? That's awesome. It does sound cool. Hello Codamic. Someone else made the name Spiky in space, but it's become a theme now and it works pretty well. This video particularly has been particularly bad though. I haven't done any progress. I've just managed to break it and sort of sit here fiddling with it and getting nothing achieved whatsoever. But I highly recommend not to watch this one back if you ever watch any back. No, I'm definitely not on fire. Yeah, so I, for some reason on wave 2 it's now breaking. What's really weird is I bet if I just move it down to there, if it's there, I don't think there was much difference to what I already had now when it was working. Maybe because they're not in order, I might, but I don't think that should matter. Yeah, they're working now. I don't get that. So, although I do the exact same thing, it works if I put it there. Almost as if it's like too much for it or something. But what I really want is one extra wave type, Zag, which I've already created. And I wanted these to be Zag. Dance time. Every day of the week. Speaking of rectums, here's a Rickroll. I'm just reading your messages, Chromo. Yeah, that's what I've been basically trying to figure out. Definitely not stack unbalance. I'm pretty certain of that. I love how the chat comes through. Wait. Vulcan waiting. He's gonna ask you to pull his finger. Oh, they're working now. Look, it's working. What the heck was wrong before then? Is my stream broken? Them extensions I failed on. I think it's Giphy. No, not Giphy. Animations is playing up, isn't it? And I haven't fixed it yet. I do apologise if you've used that. Should quickly deactivate it. I hope it wasn't that, what I just said. I do apologise if that's the case. Because I meant to fix that, but I just haven't found the time. Fail tubeless. It worked well. Yeah, they are just a distraction, of course. But they're also a bit of fun. Funnily enough, I've just... If anyone can tell me the difference, tell me. But look at how it now does the wave perfectly. I'm sure I've already tried this code. There it is. I made it all straight because that was part of the debugging process I went down. Easily change that. Oh, why didn't this happen 2 hours ago? This is what I was expecting to happen 2 hours ago. It was just breaking in multiple fantastic ways. The first way it was spawning them, like basically from where I'm sitting now, roughly, and then moving them in some weird way, but for no reason. Honestly, I sat there for ages checking this, and it looked just like that. Because basically, I've matched it up here. This is the sort of level design. There's 3 types of patterns, 3 different slots, and then it just goes up in order. And also the orders are there's a gap between some of them, so that it doesn't constantly just spawn at the same timings. And the gap was another little problem, but this does now work, believe it or not. No, of course not for no reason, no. But what I mean is, I just changed it back to how I had it. There must have been one thing I missed out. The only way I'll find out is by looking back at it in the actual video and finding out. I'm over the moon that it works now though, because that means I don't have to roll back to what I had before. I can just change this zag. I want the sort of mirror of this. Oh, that's what I was actually going to try. I was going to try minus numbers in here. I wanted to see how that would work. I do use GitHub, yeah, but I just don't have it integrated into code. I've got GitHub Desktop instead. '60's a bit much. So it can never be an exact mirror image of Zig because you've got the height of the sprite to worry about. Yeah, I mean I can do that with GitHub Desktop. For me, that's less hassle, to be honest. because I'm familiar with that. I've been using it for years, like, or something similar to it, like Source Tree. But I could integrate it as well, but I'm not so sure about whether I want to or not. Yeah, I've got that now. Look, I'll show you. Give me 2 seconds. I don't know if you can read that properly, but I can go through every version that I've ever made of everything. And it's, for me, it's better than having it integrated, but it's a personal preference thing, of course. And I haven't really tried the integrated, but I've had it integrated on Visual Studio before. Yeah, it is. It is simply a case of going here and going GitHub or Git, you know. But like I say, I'm happy with my workflow in that regard, to be honest. More than happy with it. But I don't use it enough. I must admit, I should commit more often. I tend to commit at the end of every session now. That's just basically how I do it. But I am just doing this for fun at the end of the day. But I totally see where you're coming from, because quite often I wish I'd done that. Very often, like just now, for example. What I'm trying to do is just match them up so that I can get them to the same 116. Yeah, my GitHub is linked on my channel, but I'll be happy to post a link to it in the chat if that helps you as well, because I can get that off GitHub desktop. Yeah, GitHub's amazing. I mean, there's nothing really like getting down and dirty with your own code and just trying at whatever level you can do. Just pick a task that you think you can do, whether that's drawing some text to the screen or making a fully fledged RPG, you know. I wonder, can I put -10 there? How would that perform? I'm going to try it. This is where I broke earlier. This is how I broke it, but I quickly changed it back and never recovered. Yeah, try something small, Vulcan. Make a really small program, like, you know, just change the border color, then like wait 5 seconds and change it again or something. You know, draw one sprite to the screen. Fair enough, Chromo. I've always tried that. That's how I started, but I couldn't do it. Yeah, that is a good way, especially if you can find some very basic code to do it with, some simple stuff. Let's just leave it there and see if it breaks. Should be a second wave it'll break on. It worked perfectly. So there, we've just managed to use minus numbers without any hassle whatsoever. I'm gonna have a look at that wave because it was quite cool as it was. So obviously the game's too easy right now. I might have to make him make 2 hits or something. Yeah, I quite like that. I like that. We'll need a lot more patterns. Obviously, it's too easy right now. They need to catch you. It needs to catch you out. Like the dip needs to be at a different time. But that's getting really fun to play now, to be honest. Oh, it crashed. One went too high. What happened was it got to one of these minus ones. It shouldn't have a zag at the top. I made it so it couldn't do that. Zag, zag. Ah, 8. Needs to be a zig. I found with coding though, and I started out in C sharp. I did dabble with C++ and got nowhere. Just doing what Chromo was doing, hacking into people's and just changing it and breaking it. But when I got into C sharp, I could write my own programs. And I didn't understand hardly any of it. I was copying things off people over and over. I understood a function, like the inside of it, but I didn't know how to I didn't know why functions were placed in certain places and others were in other. I was like, why is it like this? Then suddenly it just dawned on me. A lot of things in one day just opened up in my mind. I understood it, like how classes were laid out in C sharp and C++, just all linked together. Then I started passing other classes as parameters in methods and all sorts of things. Just see if that breaks the game still, then it should be working. I'll see it all the way to the level end if I can make it without dying. I think we might be safe there. See, of course, we'll have these enemies, but we will be able to put in special case enemies that will just come at whatever line we want or random positions or anything. Do them separately. Yeah, it happened to me as well, Chromo. I've had a few major click moments, but one of them was mega, yeah, when I didn't understand anything and then suddenly understood a large portion of it. I'm jealous. Now you'll get it, Vulcan. You've got to keep trying though. I didn't get it overnight. I spent ages just creating very simple programs. Oh, there's another one there that went too high. Oh, here, 15. No. Is it the middle ones? Might be the middle zag. I think I can get away with moving in the bottom down a bit. And then I'll move that down as well, just to make sure. That should be, this isn't going to fix it though. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's some people that just know it all straight away, isn't there? I've met a lad who's a really clever maths kid, degree, super, knows everything about maths, and he can just pick up languages straight away. Yeah, I guess maybe they're scared. I think with me, the worst major stumbling block at the start was I was using C++, and it was like linkers and dependencies and all that. You had to set it all up yourself, and I used to break that, and then I'd write a load of code that looked like it would work, and get some weird cryptic error message. That's just crashed again. I'm gonna try just putting 11 into the. See if we can make it to the end of the level now. Something's weird. What's CS405? Sorry, C sharp. And ray tracing is not possible. For me, I just really enjoyed it. So I used to wake up on my days off and pretty much turn the computer on, and within 10 minutes, I'd just open up my coding environment and start doing it, without even thinking about it. And then every time I got bored, something else like came along, like Unity, and made it even easier to get into. Why does it keep doing that one still? It shouldn't be. I have to count which one it is. It'd only be this 20. Whoops, I pressed the button. I reckon this might work this time. Your dad wanted to be a water well driller. I think it's going to work this time. We'll get a red border at the very end with a little jingle, and that's what I wanted to do. I thought it'd be really simple to add a couple more wave types, and then I was going to do a big boss. But I thought I'd have a couple of hours to do that. Oh, and I want to see that red border. Oh, it's still done that weird thing. What the heck's going on with that? Perhaps one of the offsets is setting it incorrectly. Seems to be on the middle one, doesn't it? Oh, 1919. Don't know how I was getting away with that before. Should cat later. Yeah, I agree with that, Chromo. That smaller goals thing. You get a big reward when you actually complete something, and then obviously you understand it. Yeah, straight to the next, but you still get that little buzz. You don't even have to notice it. But it's still doing that. What the hell? I did not expect that. Fourteen's bottom anyway. Oh, that's why. I'm pretty sure that is now, surely. I mean, it doesn't help that I've got the bottom in the middle. If not, that's something I'm really bad at, isn't it? Is trawling through one by one. I can end up making copy paste errors. That's one of my worst flaws, I think. And then I'm not very good at checking them. I think I've got it now. Cheat mode. I feel better that the floor's clean. Chroma, that's good. I've got to admit, I'm probably in the same boat as you there. There's a reason why I haven't got a stream cam. My dev area, not TV worthy. This is gonna work this time. Come on, it cannot do that. Bug. Maybe I should make another couple of sprites as well. Some of these waves should. Ah, good. There we go. Finally, we got to the boss. Couple of sprites perhaps. Nah, I'll draw them tomorrow and it's boring. I'm trying to do that on stream. Finally micro, innit? Yeah, that was lucky. I thought it was going to be dead, this one, for a little while. We'll do the boss tomorrow. Today, I might focus on them lives. If you remember, you can lose a life and it respawns you, but the enemies can hit you again. Like if I let this enemy kill me. Well, one thing I need to do is kill the enemy when it crashes into you. Do it before you call kill player, because kill player will pause the game. Room defense. I need that command. Does hit Vulcan, that's clever, that NVIDIA broadcast app. Yeah, I bypass food a lot. Makoda. Eat junk food. Right, so that's going to look a bit better. Perhaps I can make it some sort of explosion. Something similar to like the stars. I didn't kill the enemy. It does kill the enemy, but because the draw, everything stops when the player dies. You don't get to see the enemy die. So we've got to tweak that as well. Should we restart the level when you die? Just do that instead. It'll be easier, isn't it? Oh, why are we getting collision there? Oh, I know why. I removed where we set the border to the other colour. We don't need border colour on the collision. We know it collides. What next? Oh yeah, restart the level. This spawn first stuff I've kept because although I don't want the wormhole, I probably will put like a mothership or something that pops up. I've left us the option. The wormhole's fine, it's just now I've made the wave centralised. I'd have to do that with the wormhole code and I just couldn't be bothered, so I commented it out. I think there's probably the wormhole was good demonstration of how to do it, but maybe we can do something better when I've got time. Keep forgetting what I'm doing, if I'm honest. Oh yeah, the level restart. Because you'll have a main menu, and then you'll want to call like this level manager after that. Yeah, that's it, exactly micro. But I was loving it at first, but then when I changed the wave so that it didn't start at 0 and it goes up and down. Yeah. Yeah, so you'd have a main menu, and you're gonna want to like not spawn this, but you're gonna want to activate it. And you want to make sure all these go back to default. Actually, oh, I don't know what to do with that, but I'll just call it level start. We've got update and we've got draw, and we've got a start routine. Ah, see, that's a word. Both of them are. What am I doing? So that's all then back to 0, and is that really all we have to do to start the level? I will call this restart. Level restart. And then the player. It's going to kill him. It's going to freeze. And then we've already got that all set up. It says, I can't remember where I put it. Player dead update. Just waits for you to press space. Calls respawn. So I've already set up a spawn constant. It does all of it. I think all I want to do is call level restart here. Level restart. DE. Yeah. Oh, enemies. We'll want to kill all enemies. before we do anything. Ooh, really separate. Let's not put player respawn there. Let's put the level restart there instead. And then in level restart, we can respawn the player at the end. If he's got enough lives, but later date. But like I say, that if enemies were on the screen, they'd still be there. We need to re-init all of these, and the same with bullets actually. Although maybe we can get away with just leaving the bullets. They'll despawn by themselves. Now I'll do the same with bullets, but we want to make sure all this is zeros. You know, back to that. Kill enemy. In fact, yeah, all we have to do is set them to dead, because the next time they respawn, they'll be given the correct position. That's good. In that case. My brain is shot today because I just keep forgetting what I'm doing. I apologise. Completely forgotten. Oh yeah, setting them to death. All of the loop. Not sure if this is just too slow doing this all the time. Maybe I need to come up with a better way. Not even right. Let's make a routine for it, sod it. Oh, yeah. It's not even worth comparing to see if they're alive already. Just set them all to dead. Oh, we've got the return. What am Okay, I'll do that. Kill all enemies. Vulcan. Hopefully you're watching my YouTube channel and yours. There's some insane stuff. You thought this is? No, this isn't 6502. Does this look like 6502? Does it? That's cool. No, look, I've proved it's not. I'd never watched this C64. No, I don't think they've got IX on that. I've definitely got myself waylaid again in it. Oh no, I think I've just done it correctly. So hopefully it should just restart now. I mean, it's not going to give you any warning or any sort of indication of that. Let's just try killing one of them. So the next one, integer out of range. I haven't seen that for a while. There's one up at space. It came in here. Are you like an anti C64 Vulcan? You refuse to acknowledge its existence. Strange. So it's obviously it's probably because I don't jump to it, and it's trying to continue on from wherever the heck it was. Uh, What's causing it to break then? Nearly midday. Are you off? Are you, micro? No problem, man. I'll tell you what, I'm not staying on much longer either because I'm not making much progress. I'll try and fix this though before I go. Or if not, I'll have to remove it. So you die, goes through the update and sends you here instead. Press space, it calls that and breaks. Returns back to here. And then returns out because of that, yeah. Let's just try getting rid of kill all enemies. So of course they're going to remain on the screen, aren't they? But will it crash when I respawn? Yes, it does. So it doesn't, probably nothing to do with that then. They respawn. I pushed the E. Oh, hey, it works. That's brilliant. So it should always be the top of a, for the first wave. There we go. Just takes you back to the start of the game. I just accidentally did it. I was holding space. I can set up a thing, which I've already done, like F here, do the same for space, and then just not restart if it's holding space. Galaxians is awesome. I think if that's the game I'm thinking of, it's a bit like Space Invaders, but little bugs. Yeah, and they fly in much better formations and that. But there's one called Galaga or something as well. I can't remember. Philips G7K. That's. Have they got another name, haven't they? I remember looking that up. It's Sharp. That just totally proves Google are listening to you. I wrote in PH and it suggested Philips G37K. Magnavox Odyssey too. I've heard of it. I only heard of it as that name though. Probably on American channels. It looks a bit like an Atari. It looks like it on the picture I just saw, yeah. Mega Vulcan. Have you actually got one of them still? I'm not going to do that holding thing now. But that's good. The level ends. Like you die, your lives go down, and you restart the level. In between, I should have a message here saying like you're dead. I guess even better would be to not just pause the game and actually have explosions and stuff. I do want to keep it simple though, and it's complicated enough because I'm going to have more than one level. Oh, I just died. I definitely want to change that holding thing though, so you can't just hold shift space and restart. Somehow I've got to think of a way of making it not so easy as well, because you can just hold in the fire button. Machine gun fire. I guess I could just give you 3 bullets max, and then it would suddenly become rock hard, this game. Oh, the same thing. I should probably do the same thing with the bullets. Slightly less important. They fly off the screen pretty quick anyway. I need a delay on them really as well, I don't know, a small delay. It's still too easy. No, it's not so easy now. I mean, yeah, that wave isn't particularly hard. If you know what you're doing, it's going to be easy, but they're all like that, aren't they, really? I could easily make it so the enemies take 2 hits as well. I'm not going to do it tonight, but how I will do that is I'll just give them another byte of data here for life. Instead of killing them, I'll just take 1 life down. Right, let's push this to GitHub. It works. Good. Maybe you can plug a bigger one in. My very first computer was 128K plus 2 Spectrum. Actually, I don't think it's the plus 2, I think it's the original Amstrad Spectrum. Back then, didn't the computers come with a bit of a guide? But it didn't tell you that much about assembly, I bet. ZX Plus, that's it. I think it was. Well, it might have just been the first 128K actually, yeah. 1986. I think so, but when I think about it, I think it was just called the 128K, the one I had. Maybe the 128 Plus or something. I remember it had a numpad and everything. No, it didn't have a numpad, it had a tape deck built in. Yeah, I know that. I can imagine that feeling. Pretty sure it was Moz, yeah. I've got to get into that as well at some point. Is that the same as the Sega Mega Drive? They seem to be have similar games on it. Amiga 500, yeah, but it had this Motorola 68, whatever. 8,000. That's brilliant. I had a 500, a 500 plus, and a 600 over the years. And I think in the 80s, yeah, one of them, there was one that was like not a tower, but it had a monitor. No, it wasn't that. And I didn't own it either, but I had it in my house for about over a year in the 80s. Someone left it there who didn't use it all the time, so I got to use it sometimes. That's cool, did it, Moz? Did it have any like example assembly programs? I remember it showing me basic. Hmm, I've never seen a Spikie with a monitor built in. I remember my nephew's Amstrad CPC had one. I don't think it was built in, but it might have been. Came with a monitor. Fair play. Fair play. I wish I'd got into it. I really do, because when you actually learn how to string a few little programs together, it's surprising how simple it is compared to what you think it is before. If I'd have known this when I was like 11, you know, when the Spectrum was still relevant in the shops, by the time you're like 16, 17, you'd be a pro gamer developer. Games weren't so serious, like they weren't so advanced, were they? You could get away with just releasing any old game really, back then. Hmm. Am I actually doing anything here? I've forgotten completely. What I need to come up with a way is to only give them money if they kill the entire wave. Uh, no, there wasn't nothing else. I love how I didn't have to re-init the starfield, it just carried on. That was excellent. Although maybe that's what makes it not feel like you're going back to the start of the level, because the stars stay the same. Or do they? You know, just randomly change. Yeah, they do. Good. I would do it, man. Of course. Then again, I'd probably just stay back there as my old self. Because life was more fun back then. Oh, it's quite hard with only 3 bullets. But if you know where they're coming from, it's easy. I died again. 0 lives. Tempted to rush out a game over in a main menu, but if I rush that, it'll just be the same as what I've already done, and it'd be better to make a better one. Wonder what the size of this. Oh, we've hardly added any size to it so far. That's good. Yeah, I'm loving the Starfield mods. Thanks. Yeah, it looks really good if you only look at it for a small screen. So maybe I think you're on your iPad, maybe. So it probably looks even better for you. When you zoom right in, maybe not so much. I think it's some little task to do because I don't want to draw anything. Because that's the easiest thing to do would be to draw another tiny sprite and then have 2 types of enemies. To have like a type here, sprite. I remember I've already made a type for enemies as well, and this one's called Saucer. Use Bobhead, can I? Or colours, yeah, good idea. Yeah, let's look at the colours. Bit of hot magenta. What do you reckon about the colours then? Should I make the Spikie a different colour? Or the stars like random colours? Of course, if I paint the stars, I'm going to have to paint the sprites. Otherwise, they're going to match, you know, you get colour clash. Change the colours of the enemies, that sounds cool. Rainbow attackers. I mean, we've got our update loop here. Should we have them all the same colour, or have them all with their own colour? Yeah, so I could either have a global enemy colour, or give them all. I mean, it's only 5 extra bytes, isn't it? 4, in fact, because we have one for the colour anyway. Yeah, I'm picturing it. It would look amazing on what I'm seeing. Alright, I'll just make sure that compiles and runs perfectly as it should. Yeah. Winking enemy. Hmm. Um, the brightness. If you set the brightness on, I noticed this before. Well, it will actually be alright. It'll just leave the brightness behind on the screen, but that'll just brighten up the stars. I could just put the brightness on for all colours. Including the stars. Because if I start them all from a different colour, yeah. Well, in fact, they can start all the same colour because they get spawned. So I can just leave it at 0. Oh, the thing is 0 black or 7 black? 0's black, so we don't want them to ever be 0, do we? So I could either change it to a random colour or have it a sequence of colours. That's what I'm about to do, Chromo, definitely. In this update loop. Because here we're already iterating through each enemy. Now the only thing is, if it's 0, so I'll just do Moz's trick. I'll just put UE so I know I'm in the update enemies. Get round colour. Attributes are separate from the buffer. They're nothing to do with the double buffering. Which is kind of annoying because when you paint a screen, you paint all 32 cells, if you know what I mean, in the row. You have to take that into account. Why, Romo? For a timer, are you saying, so that it doesn't happen too quickly? Sequence, I've gone for random here. Let's try random first and then do sequence. Of course, now I've set a random colour, but you've got to paint the bloody thing as well. Paint sprite 1-1. Oh, 1-2, there we go. Got one that'll do it. D's already at the right position as well. B has to be the colour. So, funnily enough, if we do it random, we don't even need the IX+4. We can just do a random and put it in B. Even though I should have just kept that, because if you want a sequence, then we will need to have that. But let's have a look at this first. Where is it? Update, where are you? There. Let's check it out. Crash. Oh, I know what it is. Actually, no. I was going to say it's because it's spawning off the screen, but it's nothing to do with that. That would just, at worst, paint into the UI. Maybe D&E is in the wrong place now, by the time I call that. Good night, Vulcan. Good to have you back, man. Maybe that'll fix it. Nah. Although I did need to do that because I don't pop D. I use it on one of them. I think. Maybe I don't. That does sound pretty cool. That is cool. I love it in apps that do that, to be fair. It's like in Maya when they started adding that and Blender. Suddenly I learnt how to do it. I mean, it's clearly this, isn't it, that's making it crash. Just make sure of that. It crashed again. Do you reckon it's stuck in that loop trying to find a number under? Oh, what an idiot I am. I don't think I need to worry about DE. I think it's okay still by the time I reach that. Hopefully we have some technicolored aliens. Oh, still no aliens, but see that? One time it got painted. Say DE is breaking there, isn't it? There's no way that number can be over 7, is there? It could be just where I'm painting the back. Oh, it's kind of working now. Could be where I'm painting the background, like the position of the call to that. No, because that's just done one time at the start. I thought so, Chrono, yeah. I was just making sure. I was just thinking maybe it had gone to like another number, just not painted the colour for whatever. But that wouldn't happen, it'd still come out with some colour. It'd just change the background colour potentially. Colour value from the saucer. Different. Okay. I mean, all this really does is paint the cell that the saucer happens to occupy at the time. I think some of my paint routines. Oh, I have done it. Yeah, that's what's happening. It's because it's not power of 8. Yeah, it's not a power of 8. So sometimes you only get a half of the thing coloured in. Yeah, true that, Mod. Oh, look at them stars taking the colour of. I was saying that would happen. It looks cool though. I need a sneeze, but I can't. Oh, that's better. This looks really funky and cool already. I like them that star field happening like that. Looks better than just plain old enemies, doesn't it? Suppose make the bullets like all was it the same colour like green or something. That'll be the next one. We have to paint the background. That would lose the star effect. But I suppose if I paint the bullets, that won't happen. What I'm talking about here. Same if I paint the player. You won't get this lovely colour clash. Love it. Oh, keyboard's so much better, man. Keyboard shortcuts to do things. I can't do it without keyboard shortcuts. I can't do anything. I can't even like open a video and watch it on my computer. Hardly. I still have to press the Windows button right in video player. Yeah, true that. They're getting to the stage where you'll be able to talk to a computer like in Star Trek soon. I mean, you already can, can't you? If you're that way inclined. It is looking nice. There's a mind trainer. That would be cool, yeah. Save having to do all this stuff at the bottom. You could just say build. Computer. Build. I was thinking you should set up Hey Google on your phone, but say it so you have to say computer like in Star Trek. Computer. Tell us the square root of 6969. Half a dozen brain cells left. You need to find a way of linking them all together in some new way. Powering them up. What's this link? My internet's so slow to load. Oh, is this the dev environment you were talking about? It hasn't loaded yet still. Still waiting for it to load. I can't believe it.
This is Tavis Rudd, and he's going to be talking to us about using Python to code by voice. Welcome, Tavis.
Remember, don't try to work through it. Do something serious to look into ways of mitigating the effects of it, or to avoid the cause of it in the first place. For me, eventually it was dictation to avoid the cause of it.
Does he show it in action?
I started off that year, which I'd previously done this from previous too much typing, with various ways of attempting to get rid of the source of the trouble. I had a very expensive, fancy Kinesis keyboard that are essentially just big dictionaries of things you might say and things you want the computer to do, whether that's typing keystrokes into a window.
So he's training everything.
Triggering a Python function, a callback of some sort, or in my case, calling into eLisp and calling macros. Snore. I've got over 2,000 voice commands, triggering various things such as keystrokes, text, snippets, frame, win, quit, win, snore. This is a listing of the classes in my grammar file. Work on. Wake up. Queen. Flip.
I wonder what API he uses to record his voice and turn it into a command.
I don't use it all the time, because you do part one.
Now that is what I call a dead parrot.
Alex part two.
This is an EX parrot.
Oh. It doesn't work well with contractions and occasional things like that.
This looks quite interesting, whatever the hell it is.
Mesp, Leap, Score say Alex. xbuff, slap, slap, chook, grammar.add rule,
Yeah,
Studley dead
of
parrot,
course, for here you'd be pressing enter.
scratch, Studley dead parrot,
It's clever though, isn't it? You could
Fleet.
drive. He could literally be
Load this
driving
grammar.
along the motorway and coding.
and Alex part 0.
Look, matey, I know a dead parrot when I see one, and I am looking at one right
Yeah, I'll
now.
get into Python one day. It doesn't look that much
Alex part
different
1.
to any other code I've been used to
Now
be
that is
fair.
what I call a dead
Doesn't look
parrot.
that much different.
Alex part 2.
This is an EX parrot.
It doesn't work well with contractions and occasional things like that. Org source exit. Next slide.
It looks interesting though, I'll try that out, see. When I say try it out, I mean I'll watch this video, not that I'll try and code it myself. Yeah, it was very cool. Computer, take me to the toilet and throw me over there. That's exactly the stuff I'm talking about. Like. Computer! I can picture that Geordie LaForge getting upset with the computer because it's not working. I think I'll pretty much end the video. I've just like, sat and done not very much tonight. But thank goodness I was able to not have it completely broke by the end. We've added some colours there. What I'm going to do is do the same thing for the player and the bullets. I mean, maybe I could do that quickly before I go off. It looks like, oh yeah, so it's just called move. There. No. Put it in here. I'm not seeing DE used here to get the position. It's a bit weird. Suppose we might as well do it here where we've already loaded DE. I think I've got the brightness turned off on all of the colours right now. Yeah, I agree with that statement, Moz. It has its uses, like, you know, if you had arthritis, for example, and you still wanted to code, you know, really bad arthritis, or you lost your hand or finger, or you've just, you know, you've got your bandage on your hand or something. And while you're driving, yeah, well, that'd be pretty epic. Stuck in traffic, just do a bit of coding. What colour's green? Does anyone know the number off the top of their head? So I'm going to put the brightness on, and then if it goes weird, I'll just make sure it's on all the other stuff later. Okay, it's broke. Colouring in the player. And look, it's gone into the UI and everything. I love it. I'm not quite sure how it manages to do that because we kill the bullet before it gets to there. No, I'll check it all tomorrow. I'll leave it there. It's been alright in the end. It worked out alright. It was a very sketchy session to start with. Haven't added anything much, but we have sorted them waves out a bit better. Exactly. If it's almost there, isn't it? And that's what I base all my standards on. Oh, the voice back in the day, oh my god. I suppose Star Trek was around then, wasn't it? So it was already conceived. Yeah, thanks again for watching, guys. I'm going to shoot off. I really appreciate the bits. I forgot to say thank you again to Vulcan before he went. I appreciate that. I'll say it to him next time. Thanks again, Moz. Thanks for popping in, Chromo and Microman. I think you've gone, but thanks for popping in. And I hope you can be on tomorrow. I might even be on in the day, but it depends how busy my day is. I've got a day off, so good chance that I'll have a couple of hours to do in the day as well. And if not, definitely about 11ish. It'll be an earlier session. So hopefully see you there. Thanks a lot.